Gecko Traxx aims to help wheelchair users to go off-road. The group, currently part of the Melbourne Accelerator program, an unbelievable opportunity, of course, recently won a gold medal award. Ryan Tilley joins us now here in the studio, and you've in fact brought in, a bit of an idea of how this all works. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Aaron.
So first, tell us what the product is.
So, I mean, I guess we designed the product because wheelchair users get bogged when they're going off-road, when they're going on the sand, and so essentially it's a tyre that allows wheelchair users to go off-road.
And so were you someone who wanted to come up with an idea to become an entrepreneur, and this was the idea? How did you get to this stage?
Yeah, so I mean, my background's industrial design and mechanical engineering, and I guess I was set to become a furniture designer. That was sort of what I aspired to do.
Wow.
But for me, that really all changed back in 2016. I attended a study tour while I was still at university, and that was over in Singapore, and that study tour was focused on the issues faced by people with disability as well as like an aging population. And as part of that, I spent 3 days in a wheelchair getting around Singapore, and for me that was sort of the moment. It was just like,
you did that for research, or you did that because you had to?
Purely for an empathy sort of building component.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
and how did you find it? What did you learn?
Oh man, like, I guess for me, I hadn't really considered like the issues that people with disability face and that sort of thing, and like just the burn in your shoulders as you're like trying to constantly keep up with like the group. You get halfway.
A good workout though.
A good workout. But like, you know, you're halfway across the road and the red man's already flashing the pedestrian man, and you get to the front of the train station and then stairs and you got to find a back way. And so for me, that was sort of, I guess, the start of my interest in like, maybe I can use my skills to help people with limited mobility.
And so from that perspective, to get to what you have here, I guess this is a prototype. What was the journey and how did you come up with this design? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I guess the beginning of how Gecko Traxx started was my friend and now co-founder Hoy. He's a wheelchair user and he lives near the beach, and he said to me one day, I need a portable way to get down to the beach. And so I guess that was really the catalyst for where it all began, and seeing him sort of, you know, have to take like a whole other set of wheels, and like if he doesn't have that, then he just stays at the edge of the concrete path and that sort of thing. So we sort of went away and thought, well, how can we solve this? And brainstormed a ton of ideas, you know, tank tracks and that sort of thing, but it had to be portable.
Tank tracks?
Yeah, like, you know.
How far down the design path did you go with tank tracks?
No, it's just throwing ideas around. So like going crazy as you can with like the initial concepts and ideas. And so anyway, this was actually inspired by a gecko foot spreading out on the ground. So that's sort of
thus the name Gecko Traxx. So I would imagine that as you head to the beach, you need to change the wheels on the wheelchair. Is that how it works, or is it an entire wheelchair that you would have to get into that has a special wheels? Because how would these Gecko Traxx go on, say, a normal footpath?
Yeah, so I mean, currently for someone to access a beach, they've sort of got three options. One would be to go where there's a beach mobility mat, which is like those blue matting you'll see on the beach, but you're limited.
You don't see them often.
Not very often. I think there's like 2 in Australia that are 24/7. Otherwise, they're just rolled out when surf lifesavers are there. When you're limited to a metre area, straight down. So there's that. The second option would be to hire or buy a beach-specific wheelchair, and buying a beach-specific chair is like above 10 grand, so it's out of reach for a lot of people. And the third option would be to take with you like an off-road set of wheels, which you would sort of carry on your lap. You'd roll down to the beach, then you get there, you got to transfer out of the chair and swap them over. It's a big hassle. So
for sure.
For Gecko Traxx, it's something that you can literally just have compacted in a small backpack. You take them out when you get to the beach and you clip them over your standard on road tyre.
So it's on top of a standard. I see. So like you pull that out.
Yep. So that's just your standard on road tyre.
Right.
And then that just closes back around.
Clips straight in. So gold medal awards. Tell us about that, because it obviously has gone down pretty well.
Yeah, we've been really lucky lately to win some prestigious design awards, which has been awesome. The gold award that you mentioned, it was the Good Design Best in Class. Just recently, which has been amazing. And then
we're watching it here actually in practice. Is this your buddy who came up with the idea?
Yeah, so this is Hoy.
Right, and he was the one who said to you, I really want to be able to go down the beach. Can you help me out here?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. And there's you.
Yep.
I assume.
Yep, giving a bit of a demo.
And so how does it go? How do the arms feel after this?
Oh, like so much easier. As you can imagine, in sand without anything, you just bog straight down.
Yep.
The wheels get stuck. You can't go anywhere.
Yep.
And so, I guess the ability to be able to push across sandy terrains.
You need to add kind of the duck aspect to it as well, so it can be like those vehicles in London that go from the road and then straight into the water and off you go.
Yeah.
Amphibious. Come on, I'm giving you ideas here, man. No, I think that's an awesome idea. So what's the next stage for you in terms of getting it to market, or is it already at market?
So yeah, it's in the next couple of months we're sort of hope to be shipping out our first.
And you're trying to raise capital at the moment, I'd imagine, or are you already there?
At the moment, we've been quite lucky. So with the Good Design Award I mentioned, we're able to receive a bit of money. And we recently won the James Dyson national winner of the Australian.
Fantastic! Wow.
Which is really amazing.
Yeah. How many people are on your team, or is it just you?
So myself and Hoy at the moment.
Right. Okay.
We're looking to expand sort of pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
and are you manufacturing the parts in Australia, or are they
locally here in Melbourne?
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And what's that process like? I mean, talk to us about what it's like manufacturing, because we were talking earlier in the program about how manufacturing is in so much trouble in Australia.
Yep.
But then when it comes to advanced manufacturing, it's actually getting to that stage. Are you planning to keep the manufacturing here in Australia at the moment?
Yeah, so for us, I mean, like 80% of assistive technology is imported into Australia.
Yep.
And so for us, we thought, like, why can't we make our own products?
Yep.
And it's not a super complex product, so it's something that we can do here in Australia.
And so you're selling it through a website. How can people get onto Gecko Traxx at the moment?
Yeah, so we're selling at the moment. We're taking early pre-sales on our product. With we'll be, as I mentioned, we'll be shipping sort of mid-December. So you can find us at geckotraxx.com. That's TRAXX.
Yep.
And we're also in the process now of working with retailers to have products sort of around Australia that people can.
And so what sort of
try.
retailers would you be talking to? Because obviously you'd want it to be retailers who are specific to people who are in wheelchairs, people who sell wheelchairs, for example.
Yep. Talk
to us about that, because that would have been an interesting lesson for you as well.
Yeah, so the retailers I'm referring to are like people that sell wheelchairs, sell wheelchair accessories, that sort of thing. And so we've been actually really lucky. Like the interest and uptake of Gecko Traxx has been huge. We've had retailers approaching us about selling for us. So that's been amazing. And we've had retailers from New Zealand, Queensland, Western Australia, and a whole range of.
And so from the start of the idea to now, how long has that process been?
I think the idea probably started around 2 years ago. Sort of started a bit of a side project. I was still at uni at the time. Then I was made this sort of my final year project of my design degree, which helped me to sort of develop the product further and run a bunch of prototyping and testing and iterating. And then since graduating, been lucky enough to be accepted into the Melbourne Accelerator program, which is absolutely huge. That's given me the office space and some funding. And so from that, we've been able to accelerate, I guess, the business side of it and begin sort of getting it to market so we can have an impact.
Ryan, that is great to see an Australian coming up with a great product idea. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. And just give us that website one more time again. Yep,
so that's www.geckotraxx.com. So that's GECKOTRAXX.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.